Hello guys, and today I'm going to cook something called cheese and herb crusted cottage pie. And this is from one of my favourite, in fact, to be honest, my favourite recipe book, Delia Smith's One is Fun. And the reason for that is because the recipes in the book are designed for one person, okay? Now, I'm going to use rather more than she suggests of some things and slightly vary her recipe slightly, okay? Now, the cottage pie will be in here. It basically consists of mincemeat. Well, not mincemeat, but minced beef. It says finest British Angus steak mince. However, it's gone brown, which means it may not taste quite so nice, okay? But it has been in the fridge and the freezer. And it's dated the 21st of May. And we're currently, I think, either the 9th or 10th of August, okay? But this has been in the freezer. Most of the time it's bought the same day. And it was reduced because it was about to expire the same day. I got it for £1 instead of £4. Normally it should be red, but I can't afford the latest stuff. Well, that's not quite, well, it's half true, that's not a matter. Right, I'm on a budget, so I'm trying to cut down on costs, so I buy foods that's about to expire, okay? And I think there's other things will compensate for the fact that perhaps if it doesn't taste quite so nice, I believe other ingredients will more than compensate for that, okay? Right, so the first thing is I need some carrots. I'm doing preparation things first, okay? So first I'm going to do things which require preparation rather than cooking, okay? And the first thing is I've got some carrots. And I've varied what the amount she's told me to use, okay? So move that out of the way for now. Because she was telling me to use things which would be for 350 grams of minced beef. I've got 500, so I'm going to use this over several days, okay? But I'm going to make several of these over several days, but I'm only going to show you making one. But I'm going to make enough mixture because this is getting old. I'm going to cook a lot of this and then put it into various containers, okay? But first, I'm going to start on the carrots and the onions, okay? And I'm going to put them in here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'll put them in one. Yeah. I'm going to put them in here. It's also going to have some double Gloucester cheese, which I'm going to later grate. And then I'll worry about that later, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm now to peel the carrots and the potatoes. I'm using a potato peeler to do it. Just taking the outside off of the potato peeler. Get rid of the ends. Don't want them. Right. Now I'm just going to put the carrot in there temporarily. I'll do the other carrot. I'm trying to do as much preparation as I can. Sometimes if I was doing it for real, I would do some things while cooking other things, but although I can't in this case because you're supposed to cook these first, but some of the things I would do, but I'm trying to do all the preparation first, as much as I can, as I just know things will go wrong. Okay, right, now that's the next carrot. Put that in there. I'll chop those up in a moment. Now, I'm going to use a knife instead for this, for the onions. I meant to chop all of these things, but I will do the chopping later. For now, I'm just going to take the end off. End off. I'll peel the skin off, which comes straight off. Said, hopefully. Okay, it's not come off quite as nice as I'd hoped. So, if it doesn't come off as nice as I hope, I just cheat and I just sacrifice a layer, which I do if I'm filming because it's faster, to be honest. Right, there you go. One onion. Put that in with there. Now you can chop these things up in a food mixer. I'm going to do it all by hand. I think I chopped rather too much of the onion off. So, I'm going to chop some of the onion back. And then I'll use some of that later. So I'll put some of that in there as well. And just peel off the skin. And there you go, of onion. Right, so now I have got the onions and the carrots ready for chopping. I'm just going to put all of this in the bin. I'm not going to show you me doing that, but I'm going to put all this lot in the bin. And then I'll be back and I will chop this, okay? Okay guys, now I'm going to take out the carrots and the onions and chop them. I meant to cut this into small pieces. I'm probably not very good at it. You know, I'm not like these chefs where they can go, you know, really fast, you know. I might chop my fingers off or something silly. So now the carrots are in circles and I'm going to try chop them into small pieces. I'm sure the professionals will cut it into very, very, very small pieces, but to be absolutely, totally honest with you, I just couldn't be bothered, so I'm going to chop them into fairly... I'm going to move the onions out of the way for now, because so I can concentrate on the carrots, okay? And then later, when I've done all this, this will be fried with the onions. I know when the professionals do it, when they've made them professional and they've been chopped with a proper mincer, they're very small. But, you know, I'm trying to show people how to do things completely from scratch, without using a mixer or any other cheating methods, okay? So if you're from one of these poor countries and you can't afford a mixer, then this is how you can do it yourself, okay? Right? Okay, well, it's just awkward trying to sit comfortably while doing this, truthfully, so. And so I'm going to make more than will ever fit in here. It's going to take, I'm going to have this over several days, so. Okay, I'm very nearly done, I hope. In a minute I'm going to do the onion, okay? I know this is extremely boring. Feel free to fast forward if you want. As I said, I know the experts can cut this far more finely than I could be bothered with, but they're paid a lot of money to, well, whatever they're paid to do all this, and I really am doing this, you know. I think they do something like this. I think they put their hands over and do something like that. I'm just trying to chop up the big bits. Okay. Still not small enough as in many cases, but to be honest, I'm the only one who's actually going to be eating this. I'm not serving it to the Queen or anything like that, so it doesn't really matter so much, okay? Right, so I'm going to say that's it, okay? I know it's not good enough, but I might do a bit more. It's amazing how long things take just to cut things up, and that's just the carrots. Okay, I'm going to say that's enough. It probably isn't, but it'll do for me. Right, so now I'm going to do is I'm going to take the onions out, put them here for now, just for now. Let's just so that they're out of the way. And now I'm going to scoop the carrots in here, okay? So I know that professionals will absolutely cringe at this, but you know, it takes a long time to chop everything perfectly, and I'm too damn lazy, okay? Truthfully. Right, now I'm going to chop the onions, okay? Right, so I'm going to move that out of the way. Now I'm going to chop the onions. Same chopping technique again. But onions are much easier to cut apart from they make you cry. That's what I'm doing from a back view, but I normally do it with the other hand. I've seen some of the professionals use some fancy cutting techniques to do it very quickly. I don't know how they do it exactly, but to be honest, I don't cut things that small. If I wanted to cut that small, I could use a food mixer, to be honest. And I'm doing this entirely by hand just to show it can be done by hand, even if it doesn't look so good as what the experts would do, okay? At the end of the day, I'm less bothered about presentation and more bothered about the food itself, okay? Especially when you consider what goes inside. Right, so now, Any large pieces? I think that will have to do. So now I'll put these bits in with the carrots. Right, now I'll do the rest of the onions. And I'll put the rest, I'll do a small onion as well. Not a small onion, but a small piece of onion, which I got when I realised I cut too much off, and then I cut a slice off so that I didn't throw away as much onion as I was going to do. Okay. Okay, that's going to go in here as well. Right, now some more onion left, so okay, while I'm at it, I'll move this over here and then I'll start chopping the other one. This is why people put it in a food mixer, because it's a lot faster when it's chopping them, but the trouble is sometimes you can overcut it in a food mixer and it ends up probably some sort of like a paste or something. And by the time you've got the food mixer out and washed it afterwards, you might as well have done all this. And you get the satisfaction that you did it yourself, even if it does look horrible. Right, so now, probably a few pieces. Okay, that will do as far as I'm concerned. So now, okay, so now I'm going to put this, the rest of this onion in with here. That is now the carrot and the onion sorted out, ready to be cooked. Extra bits. Right, okay, so now what I'm going to do is, because all of this is about preparation, okay, right, I'm now going to deal with the cheese. Now, the cheese is what you put on the top. It's and she recommends double Gloucester with onion and chives. So if I can show you better. Double Gloucester with onion and chives, which you can get over here. That's exactly what I'm getting. She recommends 40 grams. I'm too lazy to actually work it out. So in a minute I'm going to get the grater. And I'm not sure if that's the right word, but I'm going to grate this onto here. Once I've thrown some of these things in the bin. Put anything here in the bin in a moment. Then I'm going to grate the cheese and put it into a container, and then I will use that when I want, okay? Which I'll use right at the end, okay? But I'm doing the grating now and doing all the preparation now, because once I start cooking I do not want to start having things that could cause problems. In the kitchen we have no problems, but you know, if you're doing things while you're trying to film them, they will absolutely guaranteed go wrong. Right. Okay. And this is the onion and the carrot, okay, which will be added into the pies, okay. Right, okay, now, Donald Trump wanted to make America great again. I want to make the whole world great again, using a cheese grater, okay? So again, I've got the cheese. I'm going to open up the container. The cheese will go in here when I've done it. So I've got to use a knife just to open the packet. I'm supposed to know exactly how much. And it said use 40 grams. I'm trying to do roughly twice as much. I'm just going to guess it. I'm just going to... Okay, about roughly half the packet. So take half the packet out. I know the light's terrible. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. The Apple absolutely stuck with their silly automatic lighting or whatever rubbish they do. So now I'm going to grate the cheese. because it's only, I'm not too bothered about how nice it looks, because the idea is it's going to melt anyway. It's just to go on the top and be melted. So I'm not too bothered, so I'm just going to do it like this. And you can see it's going through. If you wonder why it's got bits of green bits in it, it's got bits of green chives in it. So it's quite deliberate, it's not a mistake, it's how it is. And so far, well done so far. I'm going to put into this little bowl. I'm going to put little bits, just going to do it virtually myself, because as I said, it's not going to appear on it, it's going to melt, so it won't matter really. And then okay, and I was told to use half a teaspoon of mixed herbs. Sorry, 1 teaspoon, sorry. Now, there's not much left, so I'm going to just put the lot in. I'm trying to do twice as much, to be honest, so. And then I think there might not be enough, so I'm going to put a bit more in. So I'm going to put some basil, because this consists of 4 things, 4 herbs. So I've put some basil in, put some thyme in. It also consists of thyme, or did do. And some oregano. No. And it did have one other thing, but I don't think I've got it, or if I have, I'm too lazy to look for it, to be totally honest. Right, because the other thing it has is Marjoram, and I don't think I ever bought any. If I did, I bought it years ago, and I truthfully can't remember. So I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to give it a good shake. Okay, so that's that. That, I believe, is all the preparation. Okay. Right, so now I will start cooking soon, okay? I've just changed my mind. I have had a look, and I do have some dried Marjoram to complement the thyme. Where's it? The thyme and the basil and the oregano. And also I needed some mixed herbs, so I'm going to assume it's the same thing for the main part of the meal. So I'm going to put some of the dried marjoram into here and shake it. Okay. I'll probably put in more than is necessary because you only need to put in half a teaspoon, but to be honest, I'm trying to do twice as much. That's what she tells you, so there you go. Cover it. And then I'm just going to give it a good shake. And then the rest of the herbs will, I'll do the equivalent. So as I said, if you look on the back of a mixed herbs jar, it says, you probably can't see it, but it says Marjoram, Basil, Thyme and Oregano. So basically I'm using the exact same herbs, okay, because I've run out of the mixed herbs jar, okay. Right guys, okay, so the next thing really will be the cooking now, hopefully, okay. Right, I was wrong, there is some more preparation work for me to do which I had truthfully forgotten about, okay. Right, so here there's a special sauce that's generally famous in Britain called Worcestershire sauce or Worcester sauce. Leon Perrings is one of the top brands for it. I just happened to get it because that's what was asked for. And I'm going to open it. So if this silly thing will let me. I'm going to break the seal on it. That lets me open it. I'm going to put that into the jug. That's the Worcester sauce. And now, I've never used this before, even knew it existed, something called mushroom ketchup. Yes, mushroom ketchup, I'm not making this up. And apparently, you need to open this up. I've just broken the seal. I'm going to get rid of all this stupid paper. Need any of that. And now I'm going to put a dessert spoon, I believe this is a dessert spoon, of mushroom ketchup. In with it. And later it will have boiling water added to it. So that's preparation for that, ready for some boiling water later. Now some other things I have to do. Now I'm going to cut and peel some potatoes. Okay, now I'm using King Edward potatoes. There have been some King Edwards over here, real kings, you know. And I'm going to take a couple of potatoes out. I'm not sure how many I'm supposed to use. supposed to weigh them, but I'm too lazy. And apparently these are good for mashing, so I'm going to have 3. If there's too much, so be it. Okay. 2 hopefully will do. I'm sure I'm going to regret this, but I'll worry about it separately, okay? Will it be enough? Hopefully. Right, so now I'm being told to peel it and chop them into squares, so put them in here and peel them. Get rid of some of the eyes and the bad parts of eating. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to peel the other potato. I'm going to chop the potatoes in a moment, so I've just moved. Let's see. What is going on? Right. Right, so there's the 2 potatoes. Now, I'm just going to throw the peel away. And then I'll be back. Okay. Right, now I'm going to cut the potatoes into cubes, because that's what I was told to do. It says cut the potatoes into chunks and boil them, but I'll do the boiling later. Just a minute. Alright, now. That will do. It's only so that they can be mashed. Now I'm going to put the rest of it in here, so I've probably got too much, but I'd rather have too much than too little for this, okay? I'm quite sure, having looked at it now, it's clearly too much, but we'll worry about that another day, okay? I can always make it separate and probably reheat it or use it in another one. Okay, right now. I think that really is all the preparation this time. Oh no, you don't need boiling water, just water. So, okay. I'm going to add some water to this, but I'm not going to bother showing it because it's too obvious, so. But I will add some water to it, okay? Okay, hey, it's just hard for me to show this, but that is 275 millilitres. I can't easily show it you, but it genuinely is. It's difficult to show it there. It's got 200. There's a 300 mark. Honestly, it is about there when I have it flat, but it's too much hassle for me to film it, so I might be able to actually if I move this, so wait a minute. It's about 275, 300, doesn't matter because I'll probably need more anyway, so right, now I'm going to put the different contents into the different saucepans. In one saucepan, they're not on the heat at the moment, so in one saucepan I'm going to put in the potatoes. And I'm aware there's probably far too much, but as I said before, I'd rather have too much than too little, just in case it makes it worse. And in the other saucepan, I'm going to put the onion and carrot mixture. Looks like it's going to be a lot more than I thought there would be, but that's probably going to be enough for 4 or 5 days. I think I'll also need more of the water mixture, but we'll worry about that separately. And add some sunflower oil. I'm just truthfully going to guess it. And now I'm essentially going to fry this. And later I will boil the potatoes and mash them and add other things to them, okay? Once I've done this, I will do some things, so now I'll get ready for that. Okay, right, now I think this is where if things are going to go wrong, they will. You can see I've turned on the hot plate. So I'm going to stir it all. I'm now going to stir it. I'll see if I can make that, move that over a bit more so you can see it better. While I'm doing that, I'll get the show you the, if I haven't shown it before, it's the Angus Aberdeen steak mince. It has gone brown, but it should ideally be red. But I've been told that, you know, or rather I've read on the internet, it's not too bad providing, you know, it doesn't pong. So it does it too late. It smells reasonable, so it'll have to do, okay? And when I cook beef burgers for my mum, they're brown anyway, so. Right, so I'm just lifting that off ready. So that's ready in advance for later when that will go in here. This will take a long time, because one of the problems with a hot plate is it does take a long time to, this type of hot plate does take a long time to heat up, but once it's heated up, just keep the heat. It says cook for about 8 minutes, so I don't want to bore you. I'm only cooking them for 8 minutes, so I'll stop now, okay? But carry on watching. Okay, right, now apparently I'm meant to use one of these types of spoons to put everything that's in the saucepan on a plate, okay? Not to eat, but just to prepare it, so it's going to be difficult to film, I'm afraid, so I have to move back. I don't know how I'm going to film it, to be honest, but never mind. Okay, I think you get the idea. I'm going to do the rest myself, okay? Off camera, okay? Well, there's a small amount of carrots and there's just actually onions in the bottom, but I'm not too bothered about that because they'll be mixed later anyway. So now, let's see, I've got the plate. The carrots and onions, and now I'm going to put the meat in, okay? Now this is dated the 31st of May, I think it's the 9th of August, but I have had it in the freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to take this out. It's one large chunk. And put it straight into the saucepan, okay? This will be quite interesting, okay? Because I'm not sure there's enough space to do everything I want to do. But, you know, she said use a saucepan. I think a frying pan would have been better, to be totally honest, but she said use a saucepan, so I have. So far I've done whatever I've been told, even though it's probably stupid. So now I'm going to turn the heat up. And I'm going to fry, essentially, the mincemeat in the frying pan. Now, I was worried it's gone totally off. And some people on the internet said if it's gone brown, it's not the end of the world. You won't die, it just won't taste as nice as it could do. I'm not so bothered because, well, I always get some more mincemeat sometime myself. And I'm just using up what I had in the freezer, which was using up a lot of space, okay? And as I said, as I've got all this liquid stuff, you know, which will provide all the flavour, I'm not so worried for now, okay? So right, I'm going to leave it now because this might take quite some time, okay? Now I'm supposed to drain the fat out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it into a frying pan just because I've got nowhere else to put it. I've got, and I'll deal with it later. I didn't want any actual meat to get in, but never mind. That's the fat that's meant to be drained out. Now, it tells you to put the carrots and onions back in, so I'll put the rest in. Right, so I'm going to stir that for a while. As well as that, I meant to put some salt and pepper in, which I haven't brought up, so I'll do that a bit later. And also, and also some flour. Yep, so they also meant to put some mixed herbs in. I told you earlier, I've used up all the mixed herbs, so I'm going to put in separate jars which are the equivalent. So this is some oregano. This is some marjoram. Some basil. Finally, some thyme. And I also need to add a dessert spoon of flour in a moment, so I'm just stirring in the herbs at the moment. The beef is edible but not fantastic, truthfully, because it's a bit out of date, and but it will make up for it. It will be made up for by everything else. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some flour in and bring up some salt and pepper as well. Okay, I'm going to stir it again. Now I'm going to put in some salt. I'm going to put in some black pepper. I've actually reused this. It's not the same pepper as it was when I bought. I've reused it because I like the container, okay? I'm going to unscrew it and then I'm just going to tap a lot of it in. Right, now just stir the salt and pepper in. I've realised I've need twice as much liquid as I made, so I'll just stir that. Also, I have some flour which I have in here. And the bag's a bit broken, so and it's not supposed to, so I'm supposed to put in 2 tablespoons. Normally it'd be 1, but I'm doing twice as much. I'm truthfully just going to guess it. It looks like it's about, is it dessert spoons? Yep, oh it is a tablespoon. Yep, I'm just going to guess it, so. It's roughly something like that. Now, I'm going to stir it all, and I'm actually going to put in the liquid first. Now the liquid. I said I'm expecting to make several pies, so I'm putting so much at a time. Add some more water, and you know, the mushroom sauce, and whatever it's mushroom ketchup, sorry, and the Worcester sauce, so there you go. Right, I'm now supposed to leave this to simmer for half an hour or so. So what I'm going to do is, actually I'm supposed to put more liquid in, so I'm just going to guess it this time, to be totally honest with you. So I have put in more, but I've done it off cam, and some more Worcester sauce. And also a lot more water, okay? I'm going to let some of the water boil a bit and then add some more water, okay? So now again, roughly another 275 millilitres of water now. Right, now I'm going to leave that to simmer for a while I do some tidying up. So, okay, the iPhone thing just stopped. So, as I said, I showed you me putting some of the excess into here for another day, okay? I'm also going to clamp it and put the lid on. So I'm going to clamp it. And leave that to cool down. And then that'll be used for another day. Okay, so while it's doing that, I'm going to do a bit of tidying. Right, and now I'm going to boil the potatoes. So put some boiling water from the kettle. Into the saucepan. And I'm going to leave them to cook for about 20 minutes or so. I shouldn't have taken the spoon downstairs, but I'll worry about that separately. I've got to leave them to boil and mash. I should stir them, but I'm just going to leave them for now. It doesn't matter, because later I'm going to mash them. Okay, I won't bore you. I had forgotten. For the potatoes, you meant to put salt in when boiling it. So I'm going to put some salt in. I just shake it around. And now I'm going to drain the potatoes, okay? So, this is a sink I don't use normally. It needs a good wash, I know. I haven't used it for a long time, truthfully. This is just the upstairs one, which I do not use. Okay. So that wasn't the kitchen, that's the bathroom, okay? Right, now I'm going to try and mash the potatoes, so put them back in here. I'm just pushing the fork against the side. And as I said, these particular potatoes are known to be good for mashing. Some potatoes aren't, these are. I'm going to just do the 4 minutes. I have some nearly 1 year out of date butter here. I got away with it in a cake. So it says 20th of August 20, we've just had the Olympics. There was an issue at the Olympics with a woman from Germany who couldn't ride a horse because the horse didn't want to be ridden, although she did manage to later on. But initially it didn't want to go into the area. I couldn't possibly have known that in 2020, okay? So I'll get a bit of the butter. Why waste good butter just because it's 1 year out of date, okay? I have got away with it before, so I know it's okay. I'm going to put that into the saucepan. And I'm going to use that to melt it. I'm going to melt that into the... I'm going to turn up the heat again. And while I'm doing that, I also bought some yoghurt. I didn't want anywhere near this amount, but it was actually cheaper to buy this much than it was to buy a smaller amount for some stupid reason. This is in date. I'll probably never use this much. I'll have to find something to use it with. I'm going to open it now. I think it's going to be too difficult. Yeah, it's too difficult to open on camera. Actually, it's not. I'm going to really cheat. Yeah, I managed to pull it, so there you go. I meant to put in a dessert spoon, but to be honest, I've got so much of this stuff, I'm going to just throw a whole load in. There you go. Nice creamy mashed potato. I thought there might have been too much, but there might not be in the end, so we'll see. It's meant to cover this tin. Once I've washed it, so it's had a few things going in while I've been meddling, so there you go. That is the mash. For those people who complained last time on one of my videos I didn't mash potatoes properly, that's properly mashed potatoes just for you guys. And now I'm going to prepare the shepherd's pie tin, okay? And I will bring a saucepan from downstairs, okay? Right, now the meat mixture's cooked, I'm going to put the meat mixture into the pie tin. So normally this would be a piece of cake, but because I'm filming, I'm sure it'll all go terribly wrong. I have just washed it, so I seem to have estimated the amount correctly. And this is how they're eaten. There's no pastry. They're eaten straight from tins like this, okay? It's not a mistake. Now, I've got the mash. I'm going to put the mash on top. This is where I'm probably going to really screw up. And you're supposed to use the top of a fork to do it, so it gives you these lines. I'll probably put a bit too much in, but never mind. Some of it is starting to leak. So I'm going to take a small portion of that out. Just take a small portion of it out, so that, and there's enough for the mash. And at the moment it's looking a bit horrible, but don't worry about that for now. I'm going to put more mashed potato on. And that will cover that. When it's done totally properly, you shouldn't see the any of the gravy or had you just do these wavy lines on the top. The last thing, so I'm going to leave it like that, and the last thing I need to do is, earlier I had some cheese and herbs which I mixed together, which you saw. So now I just get the cheese and sprinkle it all over the top. This is supposed to melt. There's some more cheese for another day. So now I'm supposed to put this under the grill. But what I'm actually going to do And so I'm going to put it in the oven instead because it's easier for me, okay? See how easy it is to lift this? Yep, I should be able to just about take it downstairs if I'm good enough. Oh dear. Oh yeah, there's also some more mash, so I can put some, I should put some more mash on, so. Mash on. Right. And now this should be good enough to go downstairs and go into the oven. Right guys, and now I'm going to eat it, okay? I'm not sure if it's angled right or how I can deal with this well, okay? I was meant to do it so it was browned a bit more, but I didn't want to overdo it, to be completely honest with you. So, a lot of people who are fanatics in this cook it a lot, and so that it goes brown at the top. I wasn't so bothered, truthfully. It's mostly cosmetic to me, and doesn't affect the flavour that much in my opinion. I don't want to waste the oven, you know, because they can burn out, these small ones. So, and you'll notice, as I said, that the cheese has melted and gone firmer. I may have put a bit too much yogurt in, but I didn't want to waste it. If I put it, and you'll see there's the mash, and underneath there's the gravy and the meat and the carrots and onions. Cottage pie and shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is basically practically the same thing but made with lamb, minced lamb instead. It's traditional British food. The origin is believed to be British, but obviously it's so old, nobody can be 100% sure, I believe. I have had cottage pie before, but this is the first time I think I've ever done it myself. I could be wrong. I think I may have done something similar to this at school many years ago. So I remember we used to do cooking at school, and we had to make pies and things like that. So I believe I made something similar to this, but I'm not sure. But I haven't done anything like this truthfully as an adult, and if I did it so long ago, I genuinely can't remember. Okay. So there you go, guys. You could, if you can get hold of the ingredients, you could do this yourself. Okay. And in the description, I've given you a link to the exact recipe that I use, pretty much. But it's the exact recipe that's in the book, because Delia included a lot of recipes that she did in some of her books on the internet. Okay, part is marketing for her books. Although Delia was better known as more as an educator than as a professional chef, cook. She wasn't really, I don't think, really known as like one of these having your own restaurant. I think I could be wrong, but she was better known as an educator, as somebody who wanted to teach people how to cook. And during my mum's day, perhaps lots of people were taught how to cook by her, perhaps older, perhaps younger than my mum's day, but you know. And in the end, there was roughly, by some magic, there was roughly the right amount anyway. Because I wasn't sure, and I sort of guessed some of the amounts to put in the pie dish, but it was roughly the right amount, so there you go. Okay guys, it takes a long time to upload this, and it'll take even longer to eat it, so I don't want to bore you guys anymore, so thanks for watching, bye!